Hey, Jeff Big Daddy Wayne here. Welcome to my video channel, Big Daddy Knows and I Do Know. And I want to share what I know with you who may not know. Something like this. Here's a legitimate question. Should we be paid for our information? And by that, I mean the information whenever you go to do anything. You go to buy something, they want to know your name, your address, your phone number, your email, blah, 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 blah. Now, Andrew Yang was the guy who's running for mayor of New York, by the way, who came up with this idea of us being paid for our information. And I want you to think about this for a minute. Whenever we do anything, you go to the internet and you're just, you're looking at something, you want to find out more. We need to know a little bit about you. And did you ever do this? You start filling it out and it goes, just a little bit more, just a little bit more. Now, some of them, when you get to what you want, they want you to have, you've got to join their website. What happens when you join their website? You've got to give them more information. Whenever you do anything financial, the financial institution, even before you start, wants all your information. Then they want more information. And here's the thing that really gets me. All of them tell you, we won't share your information. We wouldn't do that. Well, somebody's doing it. Somebody's got my information and they got your information too. And they have too much information. Well, you know what? If they're going to take our information or want it, as Andrew Yang said, we should be paid for that information. For some of us who aren't rich, that's all we got. We just got our information. And let's face it, in the society we live in today, they're going to be asking for more and more information. Not just your name, your age, your social security number, your address, what kind of car do you have, where do you work, what's your yearly income, where did you go to school, what is your wife's name, girlfriend, boyfriend, children, your dogs, any birthmarks, tattoos, scars, any unusual habits. They just keep collecting the information and collecting information. You've been on the internet where something pops up and it says, we'd like to know where you are. Have you got that one yet? They want to know where you're at. They already know we're at. The government, there was all this fight. See, this is why Big Daddy's here. Some of you don't know this. In the late 1990s, the Clinton administration was going to start an experimental program where they put a V chip into felons, people in prison. And the V chip would let them know where that person is all the time. And some people went, that's going too far, even with people that were felons. That's, here's what the government's about. When Social Security started, one of the arguments against Social Security was the government will use this as for ID purposes. Do you know what the government said? We'll never use Social Security as an identification. Well, we know what happened to that now, don't we? Well, now, my friends, let me just tell you this. Some of you know this. You have your telephone, right? And you're going someplace. Your telephone isn't on. I had a friend. He stopped going from Las Vegas to Livingston, Montana. He stopped at a Burger King. The phone wasn't on. He gets back to Livingston, wakes up the next day, and on his phone, he gets that famous little ding. Burger King's going to give you $1.50 off on your next transaction. He didn't pay with a credit card. It was with cash. But Google has a little something in there where they're following you even with the phone off. You see, the government doesn't have to implant a chip in us. Google already knows where you're at. Google already has your information. And all these people share our information with people and companies all over the world. Shouldn't we get something for it? And as for chips, there's only one kind of chip that I think is worth anything. And if I had my avocado dip here, it would be sensational. This is information you needed, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't want none of your information. This is the great thing about Big Daddy. I don't want nothing from you except to subscribe. I need you to subscribe so I can start making money and never have to work another day in my life. That's my goal. That's what I'm going after. If you want my information, I'll give it to you because I have nothing. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen? I have no rich relatives. When they die, they don't leave me money. They leave me debts. That's just true. The few people in the family that have died, they left me their debts to pay. I can't even pay my own debts, and I'm paying dead people's debts. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to subscribe. So this is cheaper than therapy for me. I need help. You can do it by subscribing. Adios.